for the serious gamer.
What's going on, guys? It's Colin, and I thought I'd bring you guys a game of Rush Defense on Arica Harbor, which was actually somewhat of a tough game. We got pushed back a couple of bases before we were able to actually, sort of set up and hold off the enemy. And what I want to talk about in this game is playing your job when in a squad. And it's really important that you're constantly in communication with your teammates. And, if you assign yourself a role or you are assigned a role by like a squad leader or something, that you stick with it and do it. And, I want to show you a couple of positions that I like to use on Arica. Right there, just a second ago, I was posted up against the wall. And when I'm on defense, I typically run the engineer kit. And, I like to stick to this spot right here and trace incoming tanks and try and take them out with RPGs. And, that's going to lead to a few deaths here and there because, I'm going to get sniped in the side of the head from the Wookiees hanging out up on the right-hand side. But, that's okay, as long as we manage to hold the objective. And right here, we actually don't. But, I thought this would give you guys a good overview of what I do on defense on this map. And, hopefully you can take something away from that and, talk generally about, just doing your job, not worrying about your KD, and just going for the win. So here you can see I'm just trying to take out vehicles and be in a position where I can fall back on Bravo if I have to. And right here, I'm just coming around the corner trying to scope things out and I get sniped from the side. What I do is I'm going to try and trace this guy and shoot him. Unfortunately, one of my squad mates gets him before I have the chance to drop an RPG on his head. But anyway, right now we're back to one MCOM station. And it doesn't have a lot of health, so we're trying to prevent the C4 bombing. So we're staying close, and I do make a mistake. I see that they're arming. I think that I've killed the guy on the right. I do take the guy on the left, and in my stupor, I don't shoot that guy on the right. One of my teammates calls out that he's down. He isn't. I get shot in the back, and they take the station. So now we are pushed back to the second base. And on this base, with some of the tactics that are becoming more prevalent, it's kind of tough to defend this one because Bravo is in a destructible building, so it often goes down quite easily. And Alpha is it's concealed enough so that an enemy can sneak in and they can go put C4 around it. Right here, I don't know how I missed this knife, but I spray him down anyway. So what we want to do is just sort of keep eyes on Alpha once we lose Bravo, which is almost a foregone conclusion, although we haven't lost it yet. And I'm still trying to maintain this role of engineer on the second base and getting up and spotting vehicles. So right here, my teammates call out that they're flanking via the rocks, so I'm going to go out and try and take them out. I get one enemy and then spot a tank. So what I want to do is trace it so that we can fire rockets at it from every which way. And unfortunately, not too shortly coming up here, I'm going to get shot for my efforts, but that's okay. On defense, KD is not important. Winning the game is important, and I can't stress that enough. It's nice to have a good KD, but I'd rather have the win. So right here, I'm going to go for the trace on the tank. I get it. I call it out to my teammates. I'm going to put a shot into it if I can. And they're calling out now that there's another enemy in the rocks, and I get outsprayed right here. No worries, I'm going to call that out, and I'm going to fall back and try and protect Bravo. So I see an enemy rushing in, so I chase him, and I don't know if he's going to arm or what he's trying to do. So I managed to take him down. I see that he's planted some C4, and I display some excellent sportsmanship by teabagging his dead body. This is not something that I normally do, but this is just one of those games where I get frustrated by the C4 tactics, and I showed it. So I call out to my teammates now that in the killer cam, he's got assault, G3, and explosive upgrades, so you know what that guy's doing. I call it out, and one of my teammates posts up, and he's able to prevent them from bombing the station this time around. So I spawn back in. We're trying to maintain the perimeter here, and just in a second here, I'm going to start hearing the building collapse around Bravo. And I know that that station's gone, so we call it out, and we're going to now collapse around Alpha. And on any given base, if you're going to try and hold off the attackers, it's always good to sort of collapse around the MCOM station that is not in a building that's destructible. Those MCOM stations are a little bit tougher to get. It requires that the enemy take the time to plant explosives, or actually, God forbid, go in and arm it. And, you know, I'm still just trying to do my job and continue to destroy vehicles. And I think, unfortunately, they managed to chip away at the station until there's nothing left. But, you know, in the meantime, I'm going to stick with it. We're trying to maintain a perimeter and, you know, just keep the vehicles pinned and out of the picture. There it goes. So they've actually C4'd Alpha, and now it's time to fall back to the third base. Now, what I'm going to do here is just try and hang around in their spawn. But on the third base, where there are a few vehicles, what I like to do is switch it up to the assault kit now. And what I've done is switch to the XM8 prototype, and I'm going to try and rush their spawn and try and deplete their ticket count a little bit, so that they don't have the opportunity to keep C4ing us and chipping away at the health of our stations. Now, that said, when I'm pushing into their spawn, I'm letting my teammates know that I'm doing that, so that they can kind of stay back and keep a defensive perimeter around the MCOMs. Right here, I get, I think, one kill with the pistol, and then I kind of fail on the second guy, and he takes me down. But, you know, no worries. We're going to fall back, and at this point, I'm given the assignment of covering the left flank and Alpha. Because, you know, that, in our opinion, is a little tougher to take if you are, if you're on the ball. And they do make an attempt to run at it with a quad loaded with C4. And right here, now we've lost Bravo. So it's time to collapse around Alpha, but it's also time to try and run them out of tickets, because we're less than 20 at this point. So I'm going to cover the left-hand side. I'm going to call out this UAV to my teammates. But, you know, what we don't want to do is have too many people pushing forward, because at that point you're very easy to flank. So I'm going to get in a position where I feel I'm, you know, I can defend Alpha. Right here, this guy runs at it with a quad bike, but I think he blows himself up, and he doesn't inflict a lot of damage because it's in an enclosed space, so we can't run the quad bike right up to it. But, you know, he still tags a little bit, and we're just trying to fall back and make sure that they can't do that again, that they can't drop some infantry in there to place explosives directly on the crate, and just try and be alert and stay on top of things. And that's really what you have to do when defending against C4 tactics. You always have to be within a couple of seconds of the MCOM station, and you have to be in communication. Some of you have actually asked me about tactics for playing alone, and you know, I don't do that a lot, and when it comes to rush, I don't recommend doing that. But if I were to do it, I think I'd probably post up on an MCOM station, or very close to it, with an extremely overpowered weapon like the M60, and just try and mow people down as they come at it. That's probably the best advice I can offer you. I've never had to implement that myself, but if I was trying to play alone and rush and defend, I would not hesitate to do something like that. So once you get down to the point of, you know, a handful of tickets left, and at this point we're at 2, you just want to identify every threat and try and eliminate it or keep it at bay. And I see that this UAV is up, but he's not trying to fly towards the MCOM. Now we have 1 ticket left, and all it takes is that UAV to get in there, and this base is done. So, you know, you have to be very patient and on the ball. And I'm laying back at Alpha, keeping faith in my team that they're going to go up and actually take the last ticket, and they do. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy. Sometimes playing your role is not that exciting, and when you're on defense, KD is just not that important, in my opinion. So, you know, I've showed you a game where I think at the end of the day, I went basically even over 3 bases. There's the score. I think I went 28 and 26, so barely positive, but still, you know, in my opinion, a productive game. And, you know, I'm happy with the outcome. We got the win. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. Cheers. We're going to talk soon.